view or inside of the view itself. Remember, we can just right click and activate the view. Now we are inside. Sorry, I'll do that again. So right click and then activate the view. I'm just modifying the location of our little schema. And then right click and you can deactivate. So that's just a very quick way so you can like lay things out on your sheet, right? So you can lay things out, make them look good on your sheet rather than have to imagine what it looks like in our, really hard to imagine what the frame is of our sheet, right?
Okay, no title.
The last thing, I said this in the video, I apologize, I'm gonna do it again, is this little purple line, I thought when we printed would just disappear. It does not. I don't know why. Revit is not the smartest all the time, not the most intuitive. So we actually also have to turn off the area boundary line. So this little, can you guys see this little purple line? Yeah? You guys all have that little purple line? Yeah, so this one was a little tricky for me. Yeah, even in the video, you'll see that I had some challenges trying to find it. This is the trap. We've just been talking about visibility graphics. If I type visibility graphics without activating the view, what do I get? So if I type VB out here, and I turn off, here, let's just turn off walls. You don't have to follow along for this, I just want to show you. So I'm going to turn off walls in the view. Nothing happens. Why not? Because I'm not inside of the view, right? So this can be a very kind of like, what is happening? He just showed me how to do this and I don't remember how to do it. What is going on? He's wrong. I knew it. So what we need to do is we're going to right click and we're going to activate that view. We need to be inside the view in order to make those modifications. The things that we're going to be doing on the sheets, you might make VG modifications in your sheet view, but we need to get into the view, not the sheet view, the view. The view, the VV. So type VV, and we're going to try and turn off these purple lines. So I do the same thing I did yesterday with some flare, is that I thought, oh, maybe it's in the areas. Where are these stupid lines? Making me crazy. Color fill, well that's not, why wouldn't it just be there? Revit. Why doesn't it just say color, like lines for areas? That would be a smart way. Like, why would it not put it there? In fact, you guys remember what it was from yesterday? The 5 of you that were on the tutorial? You know where it is? Oh, it is in lines. So go figure. Look at these. Look at this list. Area, boundary, lines. So unbelievable to me, but this is the case. Why would they put it there? I don't know. But I do want to back off just for 1 second. If you can't find something and you're like, oh my goodness, this list is big. It's not that big. It's not that big, but to unfold every single one of those pluses and look for the 500 things, we can actually just search. So if I know roughly that it's something like an area boundary, say it's my first time using Revit, I'm like, I think it's a boundary-ish, must be. If I type area in this little category search, I'm gonna type area, if I can spell correctly, area. And now we've got just the things that have area in the filter here. So what do I need to turn off? Area boundary. Hit OK, or hit apply rather. We should see it. You can see in the preview here. Say it's turned off. Keep an eye on that for the assignment because I was very surprised to see purple everywhere. In my imagination, it just turns off, but for whatever reason, it does. Sorry, it doesn't print, but for whatever reason, it prints. Okay. I'm gonna keep going here. So that's for the ground floor. I'm not going to do the main floor. I'm going to let you guys try it out. So try out the main floor yourselves. But I will do the leasable. Same thing as last week. They're kind of just using a real world example. We'll get the rentable floor area plan. So we need to do another area plan. This is the gross. We'll also do the rentable. So remember how to do that. We're going to do another area plan with just the just another area plan. So let's go architecture, drop down here, area plan. Little change here. That drop down. So we want to use the default. You guys should all have this little default rentable jam here. Rentable. Click that. Same thing. We've got the main floor, basement floor. If I shift select, I can do both at the same time, just to try and help us out. Remember to save this somewhere smart at the end of class so you can keep working on it. I'm just remembering now. I'm not saving, but you guys should definitely save, just in case. I know Revit can do that thing where did it crash? Kadisha, you good? Okay, I know that sometimes Revit will just say goodnight and everything will shut down, and you're like, but I wasn't done yet. I wasn't ready to say goodbye. And it just turns off. So hit OK, and we'll get both of our. It's going to start with our rentable areas. So we've got 2. I just said to do 2. So hit yes again. And what we can do is, we should see over here on the left, we've got area plans rentable. We'll start with the basement. Open that one up. Unfortunately, we have to go and do all these things again, right? So in a future class, I would love to show you a view template, which sets it up so we can do everything wholesale. But I feel like I don't want to complicate this class any more than you have to. I'll do it maybe we'll do it next week. We'll see what we can do. So VB, we're going to turn off all this stuff, make the exact same changes we did last time, but hopefully faster the second time, right? So hopefully faster the second time. Is that a plane?
Yeah.
Cool. Turn off our topo solid. I'm going to very quickly jump through here. Grids, section markers. Sorry, I'm going pretty quick. Elevations. And that's cool. I think what else did I have? And then I got to change our columns, right? So columns and walls, I got to make those small adjustments. Model. Make my walls a little thicker, so I'm going to change that weight to 6. Look for structural columns. I'm going to change the lines to 6, and I change the fill to be solid. And give ourselves that gray. So I know that was pretty quick. So we're just repeating the same thing for this week, just so everybody's on the same page. If that was too fast, you can watch the video. Oh, forgot to do my roofs. Okay. Starting point. Nothing in it yet. Just using our little example here, if I'm going to jump in and start to craft some area boundaries, I know we did this last week, but I just want to do it with a more realistic example. We've got to craft things like we're going to separate different types of space. So we're going to do back of house, the stairs, and the core are the kind of splits on the basement level. So the basement level, very, very similar tool to rooms, except we're doing it for areas. This is important because we can kind of combine things. We can combine things at the same time. So area boundary, you'll see our kind of populate our draw palette, populate there on the right. We just need to make sure we've got fully enclosed spaces. This can be extraordinarily tedious in the office, which is why as one of your first tasks, you will probably be told to do it, because they're going to try and find out quickly, do you know Revit? So I want us to do it because it's going to be important for the office. This is a task that any new Revit person can do, is to draw area plans. 100%. You guys will do this. I have no doubt. The next 5 years, you guys will 100% be doing area plans. Which is good. So you know how to do it. And what we'll do here is we're going to start to just draw the outlines of each of these areas, right? So we've got, we can either pick lines, so you remember our pick line tool, or we can use the draw. So why don't we'll pick some lines here. know what, I'm gonna draw for the middle. I'm gonna draw a line.
I don't even have green.
I'd rather be able to pick. I wonder if I can pick the middle. Whoops. No, it doesn't like. Do your best, get to the middle of the wall. We're gonna just start to trace out some of these walls. Doesn't have to be perfect, just get it close. You can see our purple line is we gotta make sure we tie these lines into our outside wall. So just keep drawing our lines here. I'm just walking my way around parts of the building. So I'm just drawing the back of house here. And then I see my stair. Okay. So now I've got these purple lines representative of, this is our little core. So our core is our washrooms and our elevators. I got a little back of house here, this little storage room, stairs. Go ahead, tell me. Cool, no problem. So yeah, go to, is this the area plan? Yeah, okay. So do apply area rules. Okay, tap skip to area boundary. So can we draw a line, a square all the way across? Or just draw it? Oh, no problem. It's because so if you're too quick for me, Sahil. So this is the one thing I noticed what's happened. This is a great point. Is that Sahil has done one step ahead of us, which is he's already turned off the area lines. So what we need to do is we'll turn them back on so we can see them. It's no problem. I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier. So great point. That's my misdirection there. So if you happen to turn off everything that we turned off in the previous iteration, you will have no area lines, which we do need to do the exercise. So I'm just going to show you that super quick. VV area. I'm going to turn off the area lines. I think this is what's happening, Sahil. So no, it's okay. If I hit OK here, now I've got nothing. But I'm drawing the lines. Where are they? And we haven't actually done this yet, so this is a good way to kind of introduce us to if something isn't showing up, which will be, again, the next 5 years of your life. Why isn't it showing up? In AutoCAD, I just turn it on. In Revit, it's hiding. It's hiding in the visibility graphics. It's hiding in there's some reason why it's not populating, but right now you can see that we're doing generally a pretty simple exercise, but there are all sorts of reasons why things don't show up. This is one of those reasons. So if you're trying to do an area plan and you're like, well, where are they? And you're not the first person to touch this, and then you jump back into it, and you're like, well, where are the lines? Right? So you have to remember that we can jump back into our visibility graphics, VV, and make sure that our area, I'm gonna do this first, excuse me. So now I'm in this position where it looks like there's no areas. In fact, there are plenty of areas, but if I draw an area boundary line, I just wanna show, because this is what Sahil got. If I draw anything, you can see I get, where the hell is it? Very frustrating. Where is it? What do you mean? What do you mean? And I click and it says, none of the elements that you're drawing are showing in this view. Warning. So now we are drawing those elements, they're just not showing up. So this is again back to visibility graphics, I will VV. If I turn those things back on. You can see that what I just drew, that down little rectangle, it's still there. But yeah, just draw the rooms. Do your best to draw a couple rooms here. And those are just the areas. Did everything show up though, Sahil? Everything's back in action? Yeah? Okay. So those purple lines, we got around the stair, around the washrooms and the elevator here. So I just did it around both. Back of house and then the stair. Ready to rock? Keep going. Then, if you remember from last week, we've got to grab our area. So we'll grab the actual areas. We're going to start to tag the areas themselves. I like to do it this way. I'll show you the way that I like to do it. You're welcome to do it however way you like. Click area. We want to do the areas, not the area plan. This is an area plan, so hit area. And remember that it's going to try and find an enclosed space, so an enclosed box, using those lines we just drew. And I'm going to make sure I change my tag to just do metric. So the first thing we can do is, this is the way that I like to do it, is change the name of the identity data as we go. So I'm gonna change mine to stair and then tag my stair. So if we do that, we'll say stair. And way down here at the bottom, remember our area type. Not gonna let me change it. Yeah, area type. We can change this to major vertical penetration if we want. So then I'm gonna tag stair. I'm gonna tag stair. So if I did that too quick. So in the properties panel, so I've got the area tool activated. So I'll just double tap escape. Area tool activated, hit area, and then on the left here, we can rename it before we place it. So we can rename it something else, and that's just the name. So I think the other one here is storage. Apologies if this is not correct with the assignment. I just don't remember off the top of my head. And we'll call this, in the area type, we can also call this store area. So those are separate things, and that's gonna become important in just a second when we build our little legend. So if I host over here, we've got storage, right? Storage. Boom. Then, let's do back of house, back of house. Now there's not really a category for back of house, so I'm just gonna call this floor area, I guess. Back of house, and then the last one is gonna be core. Whoops. Back of house, and then the last one will be core. So, do core in common. Double tap escape. No color though, no color. Well, that's not gonna work, right? No color. So how do we get the color in there? We want our little color fill legend. We're gonna jump back to annotate. We gotta get our little color fill legend in here. So annotate, color fill legend. Same thing, it's gonna say no color scheme assigned to view. Catch it? Storage. Sorry, should I back up just 1 second? So here, let's take a look.
What did you set up for the core area, the area type?
Yep, so for storage, for the area type, it was store area.
Oh no, the core.
For the core, it is, I think it's common, so let's see what we got.
Okay.
Yeah, building common. Yep.
Alright.
Oops.
Yeah, it's building common.
So if you remember from last week, these are the only six things that Revit has out of the box. I find this tool pretty useless when it comes to assigning values to these, but we'll get to that when we're building our little legend. Double tap escape. We're gonna grab our legend here, jump in here, no color scheme assigned to view, click. And we're just gonna leave this as the default. Areas rentable, color scheme 1. So just leave scheme 1 in there. There's really only 2 selections. One is none, and one is color scheme 1. We'll do scheme 1. This is the default. Hit OK. And it should populate us with some of these wonderful pastel greens and barely readable. I'm colorblind, so it's even worse for me. Those are different, right? Can you guys see the difference? I can't see it, barely. Are they different?
Yeah.
No, get out of here. Tell them white lies. Wait until you meet a client who's colorblind. Like, oh my god, this person. Small frustration. So I don't really like the way that this does the scheme legend. I think that it's much better to be able to say stairs and storage and the names that we literally just gave it. So the dilemma with Revit is that we can't change these. There's 6, they're baked in, that's it. Unless you got a BIM super user around who is not me, you can't change it. So instead of using those area types, we're going to use the names. Go ahead. Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course. So instead of using the area types, we're going to use the names for the here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this little legend. We're actually going to edit the scheme. So remember, these are built in. This is, remember last week, my personal frustration? This will be your personal frustration as well. You want to add a new thing. You're like, oh, okay, what can I use to add stair? Add stair. No. Revit, I hate you, oh my god, just work. Like, there's no real question, like, I don't know why this isn't working, there's no suggestion as to what I could do, there's no, like, it's just like you're on your own. Now you drown. Good luck. So instead of what we're gonna do is we're gonna do it instead of, I realized after the fact, cancel. We're gonna use, instead of for the color, what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna use the name. So the name, Revit will let us choose the colors based on area, so that's like the value of area, the area type, the name, the number, or the perimeter. You might use the perimeter, I don't think so, but like, Revit was not built by architects or engineers, it was built by software people, right? So it's very evident in some situations they consulted, but they didn't quite get everything together. And this is still like 15 years later, right? So some things work really well, some things are dicey. So if we do name, it's gonna give us a little warning, so hit name there. Colors are not preserved, so we're gonna have to abandon those wonderful pastel colors that I can't see anyways. Hit OK, and it's gonna repopulate with back of house, core, stair, storage. This can be really helpful if we've got to generate additional names for different styles of areas. So hit OK. Actually, hold on, let's do this first. I think I just called this color legend. We can rename it. Hit apply, hit OK. Ta-da! Remember, we can change those colors. You're welcome to change them. Just don't make them all the same. Tell me. Great question. So, it's pretty challenging to kind of get at the actual tag, right? There's a lot of things happening in here. So if I want to get to that tag, remember we just hit tab. So hit tab on your keyboard, and you're going to cycle through. So just tab once, tab twice. And you guys, they get to watch like it's probably a Christmas special. So it can be really challenging sometimes to get at these. So if I'm trying to get at the tag, I can't change the name. So I can't change the name. So no, it's all good. I want to get at this. This is a great question. Go ahead.
I think for me, I'm just having just one.
No problem.
So how do I
Edit scheme? Edit scheme. Oh yeah.
But someone changes my
So you wanna change?
So this is you built
not
this
the
area
color. Change just a name. Name.
So if we go to
Okay. And change the name from legend, color legend. The other one. Erase that and write color legend.
So what we'll do is
just this name that I have. This one I did manually.
so as soon as we change this, then it'll update. So if you change it now, you change it to back of house, you'll get another color. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. So another way to do this is I just want to go over one thing. So if, let's say for instance your client says, you know, I would really, rather than that back of house being there, I just want to make this storage as well. If we